Yo, it's Smallmouth Crush on the Chesapeake Bay. We got a great video coming up for you guys. I hope you enjoy. It's all coming up. All right, beautiful morning. A little bit of little heat, little hot, muggy. I'm not complaining. I love this kind of weather. This is awesome. I'll take this any day. Okay, summer's way too short as it is. I love it. So it's gonna get hot. The grass is growing. We're gonna talk about grass fishing today. We're gonna be doing some major grass fishing here on the Susquehanna Flats on the Chesapeake Bay, the Upper Bay, Northeast Maryland. Hopefully run into some big largemouth. I'm gonna give you guys a lowdown how I work the grass, how I catch these bass under these types of conditions. Let's get into it. All right, this is actually, this is kind of like a vacation for me today. I've been guiding so much that oftentimes I don't get to fish or fish as much as I'd like to. Sometimes it's like, I just gotta sit there, let my clients do all the catching, which isn't a bad thing, but it gets old quick. So today I'm solo. I decided to head out, do a little grass fishing today. We're gonna head out on the flats. It's gonna be very calm winds. It's gonna be high skies today, sunny. It's gonna be probably crystal clear out there. It's been a few days since I've been out there poking around, but the fish should be biting. We're gonna be throwing a bunch of different baits. I'm gonna kind of break it down what I look for out there when I am fishing the grass. And you can use this, you can relate this to any type of body of water when you're grass fishing. For instance, here on the Chesapeake Bay, obviously it's tidal water. You're dealing with the tide. You're gonna be dealing with water clarity. Out there with the grass, if we don't have a lot of rain, if there's not a lot of water moving through, it can get ultra clear out there, which is gonna dictate how you go after these fish, depending on the water color. I suspect it's going to be crystal clear. There's a variety of different baits that work out here. Your typical grass baits, topwater, frogs, whopper ploppers, poppers, things like that, spooks. You can swim bait them, you can swim jig them, you can chatterbait, spinner bait. All that comes into play. You can flip, you can pitch, senko it up, finesse, and every day is different out here. It really depends on the conditions for the day. Low tide is in a couple hours. It fell out pretty quick here. It might be almost dead low now. So we're gonna hopefully find some exposed grass. I'm gonna try to do a little topwater fishing right away in the morning. Your spinnerbaits and chatterbaits really come into play when you have some wind. I love fishing the flats when there's some good chop out there. That's one of my favorite ways to fish. The fish are a little bit more aggressive. They might be a little tricky this morning. So let's get on out there, see what we have, what we're up against, see if we can put some fish in the boat today. Okay, first fish of the morning. I don't think I had the camera shut off. I had it on GoPro shut off because you gotta love GoPros. They're really reliable. But we caught this on a whopper plopper. I'm gonna get this thing untangled, get him back in the water. I mean, it's not big, but it's a start. And what I'm doing here is there's some sparse vegetation. There's some eelgrass, some milfoil, and there's a deep little ditch here. It's about 6 feet. All right, so I'm using the whopper plopper. I chose white this morning. This is the 90F, it's called. I doctor it up a little bit. Got a little bit of red on the belly. Nice red hook in the front. I'm a firm believer of having a nice round bend red hook in the front of these. And that's where he hit. He hit in the front of it. Maybe due to the red hook. So let's keep chucking this and see if we can find some bigger fish. So the plopper bite died as quick as it started. And I went to work the weed line here. You can see a little edge I'm working. Thick milfoil. And just started chucking a frog around. I knew it was going to be tough. It was actually like a slack tide right now. So there's very little water movement. And I'm just hoping I can come across an active fish that wants to hit that frog.
That's a good one there, boys. Yeah. Look at this beast. Solid fish. He wanted that frog. Oh, he wanted that frog. There we go. All right, so that's a decent fish in the grass. Skinny but long. I mean, that's 4.5. So I caught that guy just on a poppin' frog, basically. Bluegill pattern, perch color, perch pattern, whatever you want to call it. But it's a great color in the grass this time of year. What is that? That's the biggin of the day right there. Ooh, it's the kind that'll get you in trouble with them hooks. Little guy. You know, right now it's slack tide. This is like you're just hoping to get a bite or two for the next hour or so until we start getting some water coming back in. Okay, a couple things I look for. So when I get into the sparse area where it's a lot of eelgrass, as you can see here, and I see a couple matted up right in front of me there. I don't know if you can make that out. But I suspect there's going to be a couple bass sitting in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the poles down. Poles are down. I'm going to hold right here and I'm just going to work this frog along some of that matted up sparse vegetation out there. Little baby. It's a fish though. Bam! There you go, brother. That guy choked her. Look at that. In the mouth. I saw that wake coming. That's a good fish there. Solid grass fish. Well, you can see that this current, I don't know if you can make this out, but the tide's starting to come in. And we were rewarded with this guy here. Nice fish. That's the kind we want. Well, I guess they're hitting the popper today. I mean, that's a solid fish for this time of year out here. It really is.
So you'll notice that I'm not paying attention when I'm casting this popper in this case. I'm actually looking for fish. I'm looking for fish I can, visually cast to, and therefore this bite here I didn't even realize he was on. Took me a little while. He wanted that. A little popar. Little perch, bluegill colored popar action. Nice little bass. Fish. Gone. Gone but not forgotten. What's up, boss? I sight fished you up, buddy. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's my style. When you can see them, you can catch them. That concludes 19-20 pounds today. Out here on the flat, dead calm, super hot, hottest day I've filmed in so far. Whew. Mission accomplished. All right, so I'm gonna wrap this video up. Wow, it's like 110 degrees out, so it's a hot one. It's definitely a hot one. But I want to kind of walk through real quick with you guys what I was doing out here today. So a couple different patterns emerged. It took me a while to get to that 20-pound mark. I did not come easy today, and it won't come easy in the future. Every day that passes as we get further and further into the summer, this grass bite out here can get very, very tricky. You'll be lucky to catch 14, 15 pounds in a month or two on a good day. I mean, it's going to get brutal out here. But there's key times. You know, if you're here at the right time, you can still put together a good bag. You know, today there was one other boat out here. Pete Glusick was out here. That was it. It was two of us, the whole Susquehanna Flats to ourselves. And so obviously when you get a lot of boats, shallow water like this, that's going to cause those fish to scatter. But I did get on a pretty good early morning bite despite the tide. There wasn't a lot of movement. What did we catch them on? We caught them on a poppin' frog in that bluegill color. Caught it on, so I like to throw that whopper plopper, but there's times when there's just too much grass and it's almost impossible. So I throw this frog here with a little kicking tail. It looks and acts just like a plopper, but it's a lot more weedless. And what is this called? What is this, sprinkler? I don't know. You can find them on Tackle Warehouse or whatever. But it's a great frog to run when you can't run a whopper plopper. There goes a fish. Of course, because the water's clear out here, there's going to be times when you're going to be able to sight fish. You'll actually see a fish, be able to pitch to them. I normally will pitch a senko at them. The one I caught today on film was a 6-inch green pumpkin senko. I like black and blue, green pumpkin, you know, those types of colors work fine. This one here's watermelon purple. So I always have that handy. Also, if I do get a blow up on a frog or a whopper plopper or a popar, I can throw that wacky rig senko over there and maybe catch that fish as well. So you're always going to want to have that tied on. Then of course we got a little popar action. So just a bluegill perch colored popar. Nothing too crazy when it comes to that setup. That's just your typical, you know, I got 14-pound mono on here. Then there was a couple mats out here. A few mats were forming. I did get one good blow up. That was a pretty good fish. I probably would have had a little bit better bag if I would have caught him. But you saw there
Hopefully I got some footage. I ended up just flipping this 3/4 ounce creature bait straight to braid, 65 braid. This is a big jig, St. Croix extreme big jig rod. Just punch that in the mat, see if anybody's home. There wasn't a lot of opportunity out here yet for that, but you'll always want to have that handy in case. So that was basically the techniques today. If I had to do it all over again, I'd probably do the same thing. I would work that frog, I'd work that popper, and it's just the conditions are, because it's dead flat, you know, any type of reaction, it's going to be hard to get them going on a chatterbait or a spinnerbait today. You get a good chop, you get some wind here, you can throw that spinnerbait all day long and put together a good bag. At least that was the case the last couple of weeks for me out here. Now what I was looking for, there's ditches out here, there's shallow areas. Seems like the fish today were responding really well to that mixture of eelgrass, a little bit of milfoil, but there had to be some clear patches on the bottom, had to be some holes in there, and they'd be hanging out in the holes and you would just see them. And I would go along until I started seeing a lot of fish and knew that the fish were in that area, and that's the areas I would focus on. A day like today, you'll be able to visually see those fish cruising, and that's when you know you're in the zone. There's actually still a few fish on beds that I saw, a few small fish guarding, which is crazy. I mean, we're into July here, but it was a late year here, so it doesn't surprise me. That's the tail end. Those are just the crazy bass that don't know any better. They're finishing up. Some of the fish today were still pretty skinny and beat up. You know, a couple of them were really good and healthy looking, so that's only going to get better, you know, as the summer progresses here. So hey guys, if you have any questions, leave any comments, leave likes below. Until next time, we'll see you guys on the water.